we cannot undermine the value of these precious materials we have right in our country, but I believe it should not be our only source of reserve of something to fall back to. In the Web3 space, there's an opportunity for you to actually earn in the sense as not just gifts, but actually build a career out of it, just like the way on Web2 content creators have built a career on social media. Hi, darlings. Welcome to another episode of the Digital Asset Show on Popcentral 189 DSTV. I am your host, Purity Chrome, and have always been. As usual, I hope your week was spectacular. I hope you had a pleasant week. Nobody stressed you. No boss was calling you and disturbing you. You did your work, you got your pay, and at the same time, hope your investments have been booming because the market has been green and favorable to some extent. And yes, because of the mother of Bitcoin. There's one thing that I've noticed when Bitcoin actually goes up, I think it reflects on the other altcoins in the market, right? It's one of those things, right? Let's look at the current live market for most of the altcoins as it stand. As it is at this point, let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin live market reading is at 3,000. Sorry, that's Ethereum. Apologies. Is at $96,844. It tanked, I think, roughly early during the week to like 90, but it's back up and it's getting close to the 100,000 scale. Then we look at Ethereum. Ethereum is at 3,666. We look at some others like Solana. Solana is currently $239. Celo is 0.927. Funny thing, when I was looking at Celo, roughly like this early morning, it was like 0.8 something. So meaning it has roughly gained 0.1 something something extra because it's currently at 0.9286 per one, right? And sometimes it's good to buy some of this quality. I would not say low quality. I would just say altcoins that are not so like their market has not climbed up just like Bitcoin or Ethereum, because in a long run, right, if you're patient enough, imagine if you buy like one cello at maybe roughly zero point 0.9, which is barely, it's not up to $1 yet, and then you give it like maybe 2 years, it could clock probably $10. So your one cello that was $0.9 worth would clock $10. And probably if you obviously bought more than one, because you can't say you're just buying one, right? There is no sensible profit from that. Let's say you buy 100 worth of that. So 100 times $10, that's roughly, do the mathematics, right? So they have some profits and some benefits at the end of the day. So on live market also, Stellar XLM is on 0.528. Uniswap is on, I think, $12, 12.72, and Avalanche is on 45.36. That's pretty much it. I'm not, these cryptocurrencies or altcoins that I call, I'm not saying like buy them, right? But for me on my portfolio, those are and for someone in the space, those are the active cryptocurrencies or altcoins, right? That I would say I am aware of, and investing in them to some extent could give you something in the long run, right? Okay, so ring the alarm. The Ninja Bitcoin conference. We've been talking about it on and off, day in and day out. It has been a lot, and I would keep saying it. It is not far from the horizon. It is just 5th of December here. I think today is 30th. Tomorrow would be 31st or 1st, is it? First, right? I think, yeah, November has only 30 days. 30 days are September, April, June, and November. Okay, yes. November has only 30 days, and tomorrow will be first. So, meaning we barely have 4 days ahead to the Niger Bitcoin conference. It's happening on the 5th, which I believe will be a Thursday, or through to 7th, which is a Saturday. There is an after party. Do, 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 do. For all my party mongers who are core Bitcoiners as well. So ensure you register, ensure you're present to, network, learn, and build your portfolio. If you're someone who is looking to get your license, like I said, Dr. Timi Agama will be there to be a great opportunity for you to have conversations with these people that are in charge of regulations in Nigeria as someone or an investor looking to really set up their business, right? So it will be a great opportunity for you. Is one I would say you should not miss because there will be top players and key players in the space present, and it's happening here at Pop House. So ensure that you're present and ensure you register. Okay, moving on. Let's look at the top government of the countries that are holding Bitcoin as it is right now. So I believe we have our content stack. We see on the first count, we have the US government. The US government currently holds $19.41 billion worth of Bitcoin. As I'm listing all these countries, just be looking at them, yeah, and try and see if our flag is somewhere hiding in the middle somewhere. Next, we have China. The Chinese government currently holds $18.11 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's, I think, about 194,000 BTC. And remember, they only would be about 21 million BTC ever mined. So out of that 21 million, I think they've mined roughly around 20 million. And from that 20 million, China and the US is holding 208,000 plus BTC, while China is holding 194,000 BTC. We move on to the UK government. The UK government is holding 5.66 billion worth of BTC, which is roughly 61,000 BTC. Kingdom of Bhutan. The funny thing is that I have zero idea of where this country is. I have never heard of it in my life. I don't know. Maybe they call it something different. If you know, please let me know. Kingdom of Bhutan. Bhutan, sorry. Currently holds $1.14 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is roughly 12,207 BTC. An unknown country. It probably would be popular, but for me, genuinely, this is like the first time I'm hearing of this. Maybe they call it something else, but genuinely, this is the first time I'm hearing of it. And to think that it's based on the fact that it's buying Bitcoin. Okay, next, we obviously know El Salvador. The El Salvador government holds 556.4 million dollar worth of Bitcoin, which is roughly around 5,947 BTC. Ukraine government. As I'm going on, have do you see Nigerian flag? Have you heard anything that sounds like Nigeria? Let's keep going anyways. The Ukraine government currently holds $60.15 million worth of Bitcoin, which is valued at 642 BTC. Venezuela, oh Jesus Christ, my English. 1 minute. Venezuela currently holds $22.52 million worth of BTC, which is roughly 240 BTC. Finland government holds $7.9 million worth of BTC, which is just 85 BTC. Now, I think this reading is from 27th of November, I think. I think as at today, the count has gone up. Ukraine, as at today, currently holds 46,351 Bitcoin, which is 4,500,000,000 and something million dollars thereabouts. And the Bhutan, which we just mentioned, holds 1 billion worth of BTC. El Salvador is still at its $576 million, I believe. And then Finland beats the count to Georgia, even holding 192 million worth of BTC. That's not on our table there, but I think that was my equivalent research as of this morning. So you see that like more governments and countries are currently adopting, and ensuring that Bitcoin is held as a form of reserve or an asset reserve for them because they have seen the value. Now, with all this, my people, let me come back to our country. Did you see Nigerian flag there? Did you see anything that even sounded like nah? Was not even. I did not even see any count of an African country. Or am I mistaken? That kingdom of Bhutan, is it an African country? I don't know. But from my count, I did not see one single African country there mentioned. I mean, yes, we have our oil, we have our what's it called? Is it silver or our mining sections? We have gold, right? But nonetheless, technology is shifting and things are changing. We cannot undermine the value of these precious materials we have right in our country, but I believe it should not be our only source of reserve of something to fall back to. We have to start taking action to ensure that we also are putting ourselves in a place where we are key players in the space. That's just my personal thoughts. In the note of that, let us look at this two video. Our president has been up and about. He has been, moving to and fro, not looking for who to destroy. Oh, Jesus, I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry. He has been moving up and about. And, well, yes, from the march, he was looking good. For what is worth, his shoe was nice. Let's take a quick look at these two videos.
I'm giving my testimony, oh. I'm giving the beat and I'm giving the heat, so hey. No, I'm giving them everything, oh. I'm living my life, I don't have money, hey. I taste money, hey. My God, I'm allergic to poverty. You see? I'm giving my testimony, oh. I'm giving the beat and I'm giving the heat, so hey. No, I'm giving them everything, oh. I'm living my life, I don't have money, hey. I taste money, hey. My God, I'm allergic to poverty. You see?
You see, for me, I would just reserve my comments because I don't know. I mean, other countries are making big moves to secure their future, right? And I have nothing to say because it should not be that it's actually from my mouth that they say water pass Gary. So nah, I'm not just even going to hint on anything. For what is worth, his shoe was nice. Okay, so for the Nigeria Bitcoin conference as well, there's something that if you check our page on Das Digital Assets Show on Instagram, there is a subtle giveaway happening. So if we could have the picture up, we have a list of our panel speakers, and from the panel speakers, someone is under the question mark. Now, if you're able to get the full name of the speaker and comment on our Digital Asset Show Instagram handle, then you have an opportunity to win some amount of sats. And sats, I think, are like mini versions of Bitcoins, just like the way you have dollar and you have cents. So like sats, I think so. So like cents of Bitcoin per se, which could be roughly around maybe $10, 11, 20, you can never tell. For me, I would say participating in stuff like this is just a way to encourage the community, especially for those of you who are watching that are probably not, attuned to the crypto space and it's your first time and you probably have been following up this show, right? It's an opportunity to just win some free cash. For me, my first cryptocurrency was actually a gift. It was a gift from my ex-boyfriend. And I think most people that, break into the crypto space or blockchain or whatnot, most of their first earning are usually gifts. For me, even after that and after I fully got attuned to the space, most of my earnings came from hackathons, just like the hackathon that is happening for the Niger Bitcoin conference, right? And there's a prize pool of, I think, roughly $5,000, which is split 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, right? And funny enough, I have been hinting on this because it's one of the best ways to earn money. You're taking your time, build something nice, a minimum viable product that functions on Bitcoin or uses Bitcoin as like an end goal to either trade or something, and you get rewards in return. I think I have done roughly about 5 hackathons in my lifetime. 4 I won, one was in voicemail. And out of those 4, they were roughly, $1,000, 1,500 and thereabout, right? For myself and my team. And that's a lot of money. Cool cash from your home. It just requires your utmost time and dedication to build something. And trust me, hackathons are not plaything, because it means working with people, right, to build something on tight periods. Even with the Niger Bitcoin conference, they gave you guys a lot of time to actually build, because I think we've been saying this since middle of November up till now. Usually most hackathons are like 3 days, 3, 4 days, and you have sleepless nights working with other developers as a product manager or as a developer with other product manager to build, minimum viable products for the competition. So give it a shot. You can never tell. Give the hackathon a shot. Give the what's it called, post a shot. Go on our page. If you think the speaker under the question mark, put their full name there and win some stats. You can meet me to give you expo. Probably. I just may. All right. Speaking of winning, free cryptos and gaining crypto from exes and boyfriends or whatnot, this video I'm about to play is a bit hilarious. If you've seen it before, you have seen it. Those who know, know. If you know, you know. That's just it. I'm not just going to say anything. If you know, you know. Let's look, I think, at the last video content we have of this lady. After we're done, I will introduce her to you.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
If you know, you know. I can't start explaining myself, but if you know her, then you know her. Her name is Haley Welch. And Haley Welch apparently is announcing that she will be launching a meme coin called Huck. Remember that we had a discussion about meme coins, and I told you that meme coins are born from let's say popularity stake, or like trending funny memes or trending stuff on socials. That's where meme coins are born out from. That's why you have your Pepe, your what's the name of this other one? Oh shoot, I'm forgetting. But I think Pepe is one major meme coin that you guys may know about, right? If you're in space. And apparently, because of that video she made that trended on socials, and because she has some, gurus that are like crypto big names that she's related to, she decided to move on and launch a meme coin. The meme coin is going to be launched on Solana as usual. I've said this a lot of times. Solana is like one major blockchain technology that most people launch their meme coins on because it's easy and kind of like straightforward. And for me, I just feel it is these meme coins that undermines the usability scale of Ethereum. At the same time, it is what gives it popularity. But for me, I think in terms of like security and people taking it serious, it's one of the drawbacks for me. So imagine where you're having people like this just creating their own meme coins that obviously would be worth a lot of money. Trust me, because one, she already has the community, and two, she already has like investors and people that are willing to bag on what she's building, right? For me, I may buy probably, maybe, and then just run away before it tanks. For me, I don't see this happening for like a long period of time. Yes, it's going to launch up like every other meme coin for a period of time because of the community she has and the hype of it all. But just like everything else, something else that is more important of a hype would come and cover it, and then it will crash. That's usually what happens. So if you are going to invest in Hamim coin per se, just ensure that you cash out quick. Don't It's nothing that you would be investing in for a long run. At the same time, she's giving out a couple of free coins, so you could check out her social pages, Haley Welch on Twitter, and do the needful and probably get some coins. And it's going to be launching on the 4th of December. Crazy things are happening, genuinely. This is not just like one of it, a whole lot. For me, it's when we talk about the crypto space, there is the actual information and then there is the noise. So as a person, you have to learn how to get the actual information that are useful to you and then escape the noise. So, speaking of escaping the noise and speaking of crazy things happening, have you heard of the guy that like got a banana at a conference as an artwork? And so if we have his photo, just put his photo up and let's see what he looks like. This guy, I would not say, let me not say MF, but this man right here, that you see shoving this banana in his mouth. Apparently, he bought the banana as an artwork and it's worth $6.2 million. Like, I'm not even joking. That banana that you're seeing him shoving inside his mouth is worth $6.2 million. And people are starving somewhere in one part of the earth, right? Lots of things are going on. But at the end of the day, it's his money. I mean, you can't blame him. There's nothing you can do about it. It's his money. He would decide how best it suits him for him to like spend it. So you can't really blame him. The artwork was titled Comedian, obviously. And the banana was duct taped to a wall and it was created by an artist called Maurizio Catalan in 2019. And funny thing for me, I don't even know which is funnier, the fact that he ate the banana after he bought it, or the fact that I think about 6 or 8 people bidded with him. You know what a bid is? Like a competition when you bid for artwork or like what's it called, rare items, that somebody say, oh, I'm offering $10,000, and this person says, oh, 20, this one says, oh, 25, 50 and stuff like that. They literally bidded for this banana that was taped to a wall. And I think there were roughly 6 or 8 people. And then he came out. The fact that it's not just even him, that there were other people that were willing to pay crazy exorbitant money for it. And then he ate the banana at the end of the day. And this was his comment. He said, this is much like NFT. That was his remark. And that he was highlighting the fact that it's a parallel between artwork and the crypto world because he's a crypto entrepreneur, apparently. And for me, I really do not see the connection though, right? I mean, people think weird. Everybody's mindset is kind of different and structured differently. So who am I to judge, right? But the surprising thing is that this same guy, I think his name is Justin Sun, if I'm not mistaken, this same guy, Justin Sun, he is now the largest investor of Wellfi. If we have that photo up of the anime studio work or something that he's building. So he's working with Anime Studio to build a blockchain game. And of recent, he was named the advisor to Wellfi. Wellfi is the World Liberty Financials, and he is the largest investor as it stands. I mean, to some points, you make a whole lot of money that you don't even know what to do with your money. That's just how I see it sometimes. But at the same time, who am I to judge? It's whatever they feel like doing. So the anime studio he's working with is the same one that made Dragon Ball for my anime fans like myself. If you know Dragon Ball Z, I think it's the same anime studio, and they're looking to build a blockchain game where you could probably, I don't know how it's going to be structured, right? But anything is possible. We've seen in this day and age. So that's pretty much it in the roundup. We would go on a break and we would come back and look at more crazy scenarios and most likely probably take a blockchain 101 class. I'll see you in a jiffy. Toodles. Hi, darlings. Welcome back. I hope you had your popcorn and drink, and hope you're not on empty stomach and your eyes not spinning for any reason. If you know, you know. Okay, so moving on now, let's look at account of Bitcoin. I think in 2019, what's his name? Morgan Crick's Capital CEO, which is Mark Yosko, he did a buying dip of the reason why you must, buy Bitcoin when it goes down and goes on a dip. So let's take a quick look at that video so you could have an inkling of how to trade to some extent.
Regardless, though, of the drop, if I said to you Bitcoin dropped to 5,000, you'd say buy it.
Buy it. Because here's the thing, the daily price of Bitcoin doesn't matter. It's been alive for 10 years. In every year, other than one, 2015, it's made a higher low. The market cap has grown every single year. Every fundamental indicator of Bitcoin, usage, wallets, block size, transaction size, number of transactions, every single one, hash rate, making new highs. All of the indicators of the network and the network value are rising. The price of any asset fluctuates. Let's take Amazon. Amazon's been a public company for 20 years. In every year, including this year, it's at a double-digit drawdown. The average peak to trough, minus 31%. Twice, minus 90%. When was the right time to sell? Never. Who's owned it since the IPO to today? Jeff and his mom and dad. That's it.
This was when Bitcoin was at $8,000, I believe. So for me, I would take it as, yes, it's not something from that you cannot necessarily learn how to trade like immediately, but it could give you like a straight inkling, just like the way I think as our last episode we spoke about the fear and greed scale, and when it's at its low, that's when it's advisable to actually buy and hold for a long period. So let's take a reference. Let's say Bitcoin, when it was, it hit an all-time high of $99,000, right? And then dropped to like $91,000. So if at that point where it dropped to 1991, you had bought, that's like the dip season when it went low. If you had bought at that time, now as it's climbing back to its 97, 98, 96 thereabouts, you obviously would have made some profits. So I think what he was saying was that irrespective of if Bitcoin even hits $100,000, right? Even if it does hit that, at any point in time when there is a major drop, let's say Bitcoin hits its $100,000 and then drops to roughly 86. At that point where it drops to 86, ensure that you buy at that dip so that when it climbs up again, you could make some money. Because people are predicting that in roughly, give it 2 years, Bitcoin is going to hit $250,000. And it's possible because this same 99,000 or 100,000 is what barely a year back we were talking about. And look at it at this point in time, right? So just take it. When it dips, ensure that you make some amount on investment so that when it climbs again, you are making some interest. Because without a doubt, Bitcoin is actually going to climb and going to soar about and above some of our major asset investments that we know. Okay, now speaking of Bitcoin, Boyaya Interactive, I think it's a Hong Kong based company or so. Now it swaps its what's it called, ETH. I think they were holding about 14,200 ETH, and they swapped it to BTC. So 14,200 ETH swapped to BTC would only give you 515 BTC. But altogether now, they are currently holding 183 Bitcoin, which is worth over $49.4 million at an average cost of $57 thereabout. So there's also one thing of being able to swap your crypto. So take, for example, if you're holding ETH or holding Solana, on some platforms, it has the opportunity for you to swap those currencies to others. So maybe let's say you bought $3,000 worth of Ethereum at some point in time, and you're feeling, oh, Ethereum is not doing so well, and you're seeing Bitcoin scaling. Wait, when Bitcoin hits a dip, you can swap that your $3,000 worth of Ethereum to BTC. Although it would not give you $3,000 worth exactly of BTC or 3,000 BTC. It will only give you the worth of the amount that you had in BTC. So let's say if $3,000 BTC is just two, that is what you would get, right? So don't confuse yourself. All right, so I think that's pretty much most of all the gossip and the juiciest of juice things that happened during the week. So before we close quickly, I would just want to give you a quick blockchain/crypto 101. So I think we've had a discussion of what blockchain technology is, what your cryptocurrencies are. We've talked about your wallet, how to secure your wallets, the kinds of wallets you have on our previous episodes, right? If you don't have access to that, visit our YouTube channel and watch them all over. So quickly, let's look at one basic thing. I think the foundation on which cryptocurrencies, NFTs, like I just mentioned, your non-fungible tokens, which most people tie to like art pieces, like digital art per se. That's like the major thing they're known for, right? Your DeFi, decentralized finance. One major thing they are all tied under is Web3. Now, what is Web3? Web3 is the next generation of the internet built on the blockchain, right? Which is focused on decentralization, transparency, and user ownership. Now, Web3 is just simply put a new internet, just like the way you had your Web 1, your Web 2, and now Web 3. For Web 1, I think most of the time it was big organizations that had the access to give you information that you could read. You could access those information, but you could not create your own information and upload. You didn't have access to do that. Then on Web 2, you now had access to upload your own information and content into the internet for others to see with our social medias and whatnot and your blog posts and whatnot, right? It's not just big companies that have access to that. Individuals now have access to that. Now, Web3 focuses more on you having full control of it and owning the contents you put on the internet. Simply put, that's the breakout of cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, NFTs, and decentralized finance. I think that's the best way I can explain it for you. You can as well do your own personal research, right, to get more information. Moving on, what are the key components of Web3? Now, Web3 is made up of blockchain, which obviously we've discussed, cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, which on another day we will discuss for our more technical people that are watching the show, and NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens, DAOs, and DeFi, which is decentralized finance. That's a key component of Web3. So most of all these new technologies fall under Web3. All right, moving on, I will talk about skills because I always tend to want to do something for you. In the Web3 space, there's an opportunity for you to actually earn. Earn in the sense as not just gifts, but actually build a career out of it. Just like the way on Web2, content creators have built a career on social media. You can build a career in Web3. Now, there are key soft skills and technical skills that you need for that. One, problem-solving skills. You must be, good in adapting, and then good collaboration skills. Don't be somebody that quarrels too much. We don't need that kind of energy here. Then technical skills. If you're going technical, you should have an understanding of blockchain, smart contracts, decentralized app, and familiarity with programming languages, just like Solidity or JavaScript. Remember, on one of the episodes, we had a DevRel, which also mentioned some of the programming languages, if you're a developer, that you should learn. All right, so moving on, career paths, which is like the major focus. If you're looking to secure a career in Web3, you can just be me, right? And decide that you want to teach the information, meaning you would be someone to do the research and teach to people who don't have that information or that knowledge, because they say knowledge is power. So one is technical roles. For technical roles, we have our blockchain devs, smart contract engineers, and security and data analysts. For careers under non-technical roles, we have UI UX designers. For me, I would just say they are graphic designers that obviously scale to building the feature and look of an app on the blockchain. Then we have our product manager, community manager, content creators as well, and marketing specialists. So like me, I think I transitioned from being a product manager into, partnership lead actually, into being a product manager and then into a leadership role. So we have leadership and strategy roles as well on career paths, which includes partnership leads, business development persons, and DAO governance, right? So you could fall under any of these career paths. You don't necessarily have to know how to code or be a developer the way it's, largely known. People don't know that there's an opening for others in the space. You mustn't necessarily be technical, right? So I believe with this viewpoint of mine, I have been able to introduce you to a world of Web3 where the cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology merge together to become one singularity. So you can as well decide to start a career, do your own research, right? Join a community. Speaking of joining communities, I'm in a community called Web3 Ladies, where we help transition women into tech and into Web3 space, training them on these different skills. Shikina. And if you're able to do that, now you in the future will be able to participate in events just like the Bitcoin conference that is having the hackathon, because you would have had learnings on the career part. You would have picked a niche, and obviously you would have been able to participate in the hackathon and win some funds. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. I think my time is up. I'm very sure my time is way up. All right. So we are going to be rounding up today. It has been a great time. Huck. It has been a great time, and it has been my pleasure hosting the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had some fun. I hope you had some learnings to take away as well. All right. So once again, my name remains Purity Chrome, and I will see you guys next Saturday as usual with something big and a lot of people here. So don't miss it, right? We will be talking about DevCon sometime next Saturday, hopefully. So remain jiggy and chill and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye-bye. Mwah.